Hey everybody, stick around for a super cool and somewhat creepy camping experience. Let's go camping. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today I will be staying at the Big Hill Pond State Park in Tennessee. This is a park I've never been to before. It's a relatively small park, but it was close to home and it was another opportunity for me to get out and spend a night camping. What really makes this one stand out is I am the only person in this campground. The park closes at 9. Of course, the campground stays open, but there's nobody else booked here. I'm gonna be the only person camping here tonight. Unless somebody shows up just super late. When I booked my reservation for the campsite, none of the other campsites were taken. I picked something as far to the back as I could get. I'm going to be here all by myself. When I started doing this and I decided I was going to do some solo camping, I was a little concerned that I might get a little nervous doing this or have concerns for my safety. And I mean, anytime you're out in the woods by yourself, there's always concerns for that kind of thing. But I've actually found that I've been really enjoying it. The last couple trips that I've gone on and been by myself, well, there's been a couple of interesting incidents that have happened. I've never just been scared to be out here. This one may challenge that. Being here at an entire campground that's completely unoccupied, this is going to be interesting. But right now I'm going to start getting things set up. I'm going to camp in the car tonight. I'm not going to use a tent. So I'm fixing to get everything set up. I'm going to put the bed together in the car. I'm going to get my table set up for cooking and whatnot. I've got something really cool to show you guys in a little bit. But for now, let's get started getting the camp set up. So recently, the channel gained enough subscribers and viewing hours to become monetized. I wasn't really sure what that was going to look like at first. So all the commercials that pop up during these videos, the ones that you guys are forced to watch, just know that by watching that, you're helping me out. That's what helps to pay for me to be able to do this kind of stuff. All you got to do is watch a few seconds of a commercial and then they throw a little bit of something in my direction. I'm sorry you have to watch commercials. I'm not sorry that I've managed to make just a little bit of money off of that to kind of subsidize things. When my first check came in from YouTube revenue, I wanted to buy something special for the channel. I was able to buy this. This is a Nemo camp chair. I believe it's called a Stargazer. It's super expensive for a camp chair, and that's why I never just rushed out and got one. They're very cool. My youngest daughter and I went to REI one day, and they had them on display, and I fell in love with this chair, and I've been wanting one ever since, but they're stupid expensive for a camp chair. And so when the ad revenue came in, I decided that's what I was going to get. I'm going to set this up and show you guys the Nemo Stargazer, because that's what I'm going to be sitting in and gazing at stars for this evening. So let's get this thing set up and I'm going to show you how cool it is. As you can see, I have never used this. It does have directions. Be careful cutting these off that you don't cut the elastic that makes these connections. All right, so let's try this. Yeah, that's nice. It's very relaxing, very much like a hammock chair. Just swings from these points right here. And I know some people are probably looking at this going, boy, that's a lot of burden on that chair. And you are correct. This does have a good weight limit on it. Obviously, I don't reach it, so we're all good. So you've got the ability to kind of lay back and relax. And it's just a lot better than your typical camp chair. I have some other chairs that have a little ottoman with them that you can kick your feet up on. I would like to have something to put my feet on, but I can just pull it up to the table there and prop my feet on the bench and be just fine. There are handles right here that are marked hold here to sit and stand, because it is a hammock style chair. So if you just get up out of it, there's a good chance it's going to come out from under you and you're going to go face first into the gravel. So we will use the safety measures that are in place. But I like this chair. So thank you to all of you that put up with the commercials and the growth of the channel, that I was able to do something that cool with the money I made from just you guys watching some annoying commercial. Y'all are awesome, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you. One of the most time-consuming and energy-consuming things that you can do at camp is processing firewood. It uses a whole lot of energy and requires a whole lot of fuel. It also creates a lot of excess body heat. So if it's already hot and you're working hard, that's going to put a lot of demands on your body. So some of you may ask, well, why are you cutting your own wood? Why didn't you just buy it at the campground? Well, here's the thing. When I got here, they didn't seem to have any. I'm having to kind of scavenge around the area. It's a very picked over site. There's not a lot of small loose material around. So I'm having to drag up some of these felled trees and try to cut them up as much as I can in order to make my fire. I'm not going to do a lot with the fire tonight. I'm going to cook on my little stove. Fire is really just to kind of keep bugs away and to have a campfire. I mean, who doesn't want a campfire? Got a lot of good use out of this little Gomboy saw that was sent to me by a viewer a couple months back. You may recall in my bin store camping video, I showed this for the first time. This was a gift from one of y'all that came from the Amazon wish list. And if you would like to help support the channel, the best possible way you can do it is go check out our Amazon wish list. It's just a handful of items of all different price points that you can send directly to me, and either I can use it as a demo for a video or I can use it to just help out with my activities. It is the highlight of my day when I come home and I see a package addressed to Dad Budget Adventures and it has something like this in it. You guys are the best audience out there, and as long as y'all keep watching, I'm going to keep making this kind of stuff. But as I said, processing wood consumes a lot of energy. Energy requires food. So you know what that means? It's time to start working on dinner. Before I start on dinner, I do want to take a second for a step two, and this one goes with a special shout out. If you understand the concept of a step two, then you probably already know who I'm toasting and why. He'll probably never see this, but for the rest of you that do and who know who I'm talking about, this is for you, Steve. I have to say that in the time that I've been here, I like this park a lot better than Meme and Shelby Forest. I have not had any issues with bugs. There's been an occasional mosquito flyby. Haven't seen any horse flies, and they were wearing me out at Shelby Forest 2 weeks ago when I was there. So far, nothing of the sort here, just the occasional mosquito will buzz by. Now, I do have my thermocell going, but I've wandered away from that several times and still haven't had any problems. The bathroom building is not far from where I am right now. There have been a few people that have driven through and gone and used the restroom, but this campground is still vacant, and it's very surreal. This is a place that, if it's like other campgrounds, it's normally just full of people and noise and things going on, and for this to be completely empty, it's kind of like being in a schoolhouse at night where it feels very different. If you're familiar with the whole backrooms thing on the internet, that's kind of what this feels like. It's like I'm someplace I'm not supposed to be because there's nobody else here. I haven't seen a ranger drive through. I imagine at some point tonight they'll probably drive by and check on me. So far, nothing. It's just, it's bizarre, but I am enjoying it. It's a beautiful campground. It's very quiet. You know, lack of people will do that, but it's a nice place. There's a trail right here by my campsite. I'm at campsite 16, which is the furthest one back. The only downside to this campsite is that if you're here on a weekend, maybe when it's really busy, there's a hiking trail right here. So people are constantly going to be walking up next to your campsite. Maybe move over to one of the ones on the outside. There's also a Boy Scout campground that's over here that looks pretty cool. Right behind me, there's a day use picnic table and fire pit that looks pretty cool. I mean, everything, it's a state park. Everything's a little bit, shall we say, excessively rustic. There's a lot of things that are kind of a little worn down. It's not unpleasant. I really like the way the campsite is set up with this little fence perimeter around it. Kind of gives a little bit more of a feeling of security. But I'm going to get back to getting dinner ready, get some food in me before the sun goes down. So let's go finish dinner. So I found this recipe of all places, on TikTok. That's right, grown man using TikTok. I do have a TikTok, by the way, so if you want to find me over there, go look for Dad Budget Adventures on TikTok. Got a handful of videos up there. We'll look at adding more as we go. They called it School Cafeteria Salisbury Steak, and I tried it at home, and it was a success, so I decided I was going to bring it here and see how it works as a camp food. Let's give it a shot. Oh, it's hot. Oh my goodness, it's hot. I thought having it sit for a few minutes while I toasted up the bread would let it cool down, but nope. That's like eating lava, if lava tasted like Salisbury steak. Turned out pretty good. Could have used some seasoning on the hamburger itself when I cooked it up. I was hoping the onion soup mix would add that flavor. Again, I didn't want to over salt it, but it didn't quite take the way I'd hoped. So the beef flavor is a little mild. Still good, mind you. It's just mild. So for those of you who know, I live in the Memphis area. Over the last few days, we have made national news over and over again, and not in a good way. We had a mother and her baby kidnapped, forced to go out to ATM machines and withdraw money. We had a woman who was abducted and murdered by a guy who is essentially probably pretty much a serial killer, except as far as we know at this point, he doesn't have a number of bodies stacked up, but it wouldn't surprise me if that doesn't come out. And in the last 2 days, we've had 2 active shooter incidents. One where a guy was just driving around the streets of Memphis, opening fire on whoever he saw as an opportunity. He killed 4 people and injured 10. And tonight, after I got here, I found out that there was another one going on at another location this evening. It's times like this that I really appreciate the ability to get out away from the city and find some peace and quiet. I don't like the idea that my family is not here with me, but I do know that they're safely tucked away at home. But one lesson that always comes out of something like this is always let your family know how much you love and appreciate them, because you never know what tomorrow is going to hold. I know that a lot of my neighbors this week probably wishing that they had said something different when that loved one walked out the door for the last time. Crazy sounding bird. So I'm going to finish off my Salisbury steak. When I come back from dinner, I'll try not to be quite so dark. All right, so let's do a little walkabout. Kind of check out this campground. So this is the little day use site that I was talking about. Rather worn out picnic table and a nice little fire ring. And then there's a trail back here. It goes to a location called Rocky Knob. Not sure how far back it is because it doesn't have any kind of indicators on that. You can kind of look up here. You can see the bathrooms right there and my campsite right here. Rather lush in the way of greenery. I have not heard or seen any wildlife yet. I imagine there's probably deer and things like that back here, but I don't want to get too far back here because we're not going for a hike. I don't know if you can see all the white tree bark back here. That's kind of interesting. That's further down the path. We'll go back up here. We'll kind of check out the campground. So leaving my campsite, there's a couple others right here. Another one a little farther back. Over that way. And you see the bathrooms. Now these two are a little close together. I think I might be a little disappointed if I booked one of these and somebody booked that one. Playground off through the trees up there. Another little campsite. One next to that. Another one right there. One right there. There's the camp. Scout camp. Which isn't really far back. Right there. But this is a group site. We wanted to set up multiple tents. Everybody can hang out, do their thing. It's not a bad location. A little picnic table, fire pit, all that. And then plenty of space to put up multiple tents. Not so much a usable space for hammocks, but tents definitely. Bathhouse is pretty nice. Haven't been in it yet. Upside is it's not terribly creepy, so being here by myself, it's not that big of a deal. So we'll go inside and see what's in there. Not bad. Definitely been in worse. Little shower stall. Somebody left us a washcloth. Should I get that? Empty as empty can be. Now, that looks like a little cabin of some kind. Let's go check that out. You got someplace else to be? Apparently this is some kind of a camp office or something. It's a camp shop. They've got a couple of camping products and stuff like that in there, so it's like a little camp store. A neat little gathering circle here. It's kind of cool. Cut out chair out of a stump. My goodness, it is just so vacant out here. There you can kind of get an idea of what the campsites look like. Usually two back to back. So during busier times, you're going to be very close to your neighbors. But it works out really cool if you're camping with friends and you want to book multiple sites together. You can see you got a picnic table, a barbecue grill, fire pit, and then a pad for your RV or tent. So here's the thing with Big Hill Pond State Park. All the campsites here are completely primitive as far as not having water and not having electricity. So if you come here with a camper, you have to boondock. You're gonna have to bring your own power or just do without. But as far as atmosphere, this is a cool place. I like it. Very peaceful, very out of the way. I mean, relatively bug-free. I've been walking around with the camera all this time and I'm not getting swarmed with mosquitoes or horse flies or anything like that. So it's not bad. I can definitely recommend this place. So I've been kind of watching the news tonight, trying to see what's happening back at home. And it turns out that the report of an active shooter tonight is not legitimate information. This is what we've come to in my hometown, is that we've had such a rash of bizarre and scary stuff going on that people are overreacting to things. Sometimes overreaction is almost as bad as something actually happening, because with overreaction comes over-response, and it also brings in paranoia and fear and all of the things that start to break down what we consider society. It's scary to think that people can completely derail the response of law enforcement and public services by bad information because they've gotten spooked by something that's happened. But that appears to be what's going on, which makes it even nicer to be here in this environment, away from everything else, and in a place where there's no people. I don't have to worry about crazy. I'm starting to understand the concept of hermits that get away from society and go live in the woods or go live in a cave. Sometimes that seems like a viable option. Before I settle in for the night, I'm going to clean up everything and get it put away in the car. I've got to leave kind of early in the morning because I've got to go home, get cleaned up, and go to work. One of the advantages to camping inside your car is that you can kind of close everything up and have minimal things to do when it's time to break down camp in the morning. So before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to break down everything that I can, get it put away in the car so that in the morning I have minimal things to do before I can leave and drive back home. I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff cleaned up, put away, packed up. That way in the morning I can just get out of here. So I'm sure by now there are some of you that are wondering what's going on with the giveaway. So if you watched my last video, and I'll put a link down to it below, I said that I was going to give away Battle Box bivy tent that I used on my last camping trip. And that particular giveaway is still going on. I'm going to hold it open for one more week from the day that this video drops. So if you want in on that contest, go watch my last video and be sure to drop a comment to let me know that you're interested in being in on the drawing, and you could win Battle Box bivy tent that I featured in my last camping video. This is a really cool little tent. And if you just go into that video and leave a comment that says, pick me, your name goes into the drawing with everybody else that leaves that comment, and you could win this Battle Box tent. Be sure and watch that video. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel, but also let me know you want in on this drawing. 1 week from the day this video drops, I will be choosing a winner, and I will be contacting that person to let them know you have won this Battle Box tent. It's getting to be about time to turn in for the night. The weather is really nice. It's not overly hot. It's a little stuffy inside the car, but not too bad. I mean, it's going to be comfortable for tonight, especially as it gets later in the evening. Also, I brought a small fan and the Jackery 240 that should get me through most of the evening on a low setting on the fan. So I'm going to set that up here in a little bit. But for right now, I'm going to kick back. I'm going to watch a movie. A couple of years ago, my daughter bought me American Sniper, and believe it or not, I have not watched this movie yet. I'm about to sit down and dive into this and get relaxed and ready to sleep here in the car tonight. So far, it's been an extremely peaceful evening. There's a lot to be said for being far away from people, being at a campsite that's completely empty. It's a little on the eerie side, but it's not intolerable. It does make things more interesting and you know, of course I notice every little sound and everything that's happening around me, but fortunately so far this has just been a super pleasant experience. The limited insect activity, not having to deal with wildlife walking up into my campsite, not having loud neighbors, not having any problems. I mean, it's been super peaceful, and I really needed this. I needed a chance to get away for a night and just kind of escape the city and come out and do something interesting, you know, create some content for you guys to live vicariously through my adventures. And it's such a thrill having y'all along on this kind of stuff. I feel like I've got company, even though all I'm doing really is looking at a camera. From your end, it's a totally different reality. From my end, it's just me and a camera. But it's like I'm going camping with my friends when I have you guys along for these trips. I'm going to get the laptop set up here in a second and get the movie going. If something happens, I'll bring y'all in. Otherwise, I will see y'all in the morning when I get up to make some coffee and get ready to hit the road. So for now, y'all have a wonderful evening. Hug your kids, call your parents and tell them you love them, and live your best life. That's all you can do in this world. Good morning. It's been a great night here at Big Hill Pond State Park. I really enjoyed this little overnighter. It was perfect weather for it, not too hot. Woke up this morning, it's a little bit brisk here, which is an absolutely refreshing experience because it's just been miserably hot all summer. I will say that the mosquitoes are up with me this morning. Didn't really have any problems with them last night, but they are up in force this morning and they are hungry. I would get the thermocell going, but I'm using the isobutane to make coffee right now, so can't really do that. But I'm going to get my coffee made so I can get in the car, get on the road, and get back home. I've got to go to work today, so I hope you guys enjoy this little effort, doing a little quick camping trip in between work shifts. But I'm absolutely loving having the opportunity to take these quick little trips and do this stuff for you guys. I had a wonderful sleep in the car, believe it or not. Watching that movie was a great way to top off the night. Super good movie, definitely recommend. But overall, the experience here has just been great. I absolutely recommend this park, mostly if you can find it like I did. They do have online reservations, so you can go online and you can see how many campsites are taken up. During the busier time, this might not be as nice because everything is kind of close together, but if you can get a night when there's minimal people here, or like tonight when there's none, this is so cool. This is such an unusual way to do this. It's very surreal. It's a little bit creepy. If you get creeped out easy, this may not be the thing for you, but I really enjoyed coming out here all by myself and being in this completely vacant campground and just being able to have a night off the grid, out of the way, and enjoying this place. Don't forget to get in on the Battle Box tent drawing. That's going to be at the end of this week. Go over and watch the video that's linked in the description box and leave a comment there to let me know that you're interested in being in the drawing, and for one more week you'll get a chance to get into that. But for now, before these mosquitoes carry me away, I am going to grab my coffee, I'm going to get in the car and get on the road back home. And until the next time, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. We'll see you around.